Hey gamers, it's your boy MtG here, back with another Magic the Gathering video, and today we're going to be talking about the Lightning Aggro Challenger deck, and specifically its sideboard, and we're going to be playing it in a best of 3 on Magic Arena, so we can kind of see how the sideboard functions. A wise man once told me, when we were discussing Yu-Gi-Oh, that you play 2 out of 3 of your games, or 2/3 of your games will be played with the sideboard in mind, because you know, you play one game, right, and then you sideboard for the next 2 games. So most of the games you're going to be playing are sideboarded games. So it's very important to understand the sideboard of your deck and what matchups to do what in. So that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. I know that a lot of my subscribers or a lot of my views have come from my Challenger deck videos, so if that's something you've watched before, welcome back. And if you haven't seen that, feel free to go check out my channel. I will put a card up here so that you can go see the Lightning Aggro video that I did in the first time, so you can see how it plays in the main board. We did that in best of 1, and now we're doing best of 3. So here we go. I'm not going to talk about the main board a whole lot, but know that this is a pretty decent mono red build from Guilds of Ravnica time. So when they built the Challenger decks, they had them they built them without Ravnica Allegiance or War of the Spark or M20 obviously in mind. So we only have cards up through Guilds of Ravnica, so we don't have Spectacle, which is actually quite sad because Light Up the Stage is just so good. Light Up the Stage and Skewer the Critics. Personally, I don't love Skewer the Critics as much, but Light Up the Stage is a staple for mono red right now. So if you're looking to improve this deck a little bit, I would run a couple Light Up the Stages because it allows you to see a lot more cards and you can kind of cut down on your land count. So that's actually very good. But onto the sideboard. Okay, so what we've got here is 4 Lightning Mares, 4 Diamond Mares, 3 Fiery Cannonades, and 4 Fight with Fire. So this is actually a very cheap sideboard in terms of, like, if you're just, let's say you were building this deck from just cards that you were buying singles of, this sideboard is super cheap. Like, these are only uncommons, we don't have any rares here, and these are actually fairly cheap uncommons, so that's good. So, why do we have Lightning Mare here? Lightning Mare is very good against Mono Blue, and Mono Blue was very, very good at the time this deck was built, and it's still pretty good. I don't think it's not a top tier deck right now, but it's pretty close. And Lightning Mare is still pretty good against, like, a couple other matchups, but this is particularly tuned against Mono Blue because the spell can't be countered, and Mono Blue runs quite a few counters. It runs Quench, it runs Essence Capture, things like that, and it can't be blocked by blue creatures, so that's just, like, you just kill your opponent because they can't do anything about your Lightning Mare. That's just a thing that happens, right? So anytime we go up against Mono Blue, we're boarding in all 4 of these. And one thing you can kind of forget about Lightning Mare, but is actually very useful, is its little 2 mana ability. You pay 1 and a red to get +1/+0 until end of turn, and that's actually super important because in mono red we tend to run out of cards pretty fast, and so sometimes we'll have like somewhere between 4 and 6 mana on the field, or 4 and 6 lands on the field, but nothing in hand to play. And if we have a Lightning Mare on the field, we can pump this up and get 3 extra damage out of it. That's very important. Okay, Diamond Mare. This is really for the mirror matchup. If we're going up against another mono red and we just want to kind of sustain ourselves through that matchup a little bit, Diamond Mare is the card for you. You're going to be gaining life every time you cast a red spell, basically. So you would play this, you choose red, and then you gain a lot of life. And this can sometimes just allow you to last a little bit longer than your opponent, and Diamond Mare is actually a decent blocker against mono red. Especially because it can block Viashino Pyromancer, and if they're playing Lightning Mares for some reason, they can block that. Most mono red decks are not going to be playing Lightning Mare. Let me just tell you that, because it's not really that good, but it's decent against some matchups, right? But Diamond Mare is really only good for the mirror matchup of mono red, because it allows you to last just a bit longer than the first couple of turns, because sometimes that can happen. Speaking of against aggro, Fiery Cannonade is another aggro deck, or another aggro matchup card we really like. So Fiery Cannonade deals 2 damage to each non-pirate creature, and that's going to get rid of a lot of things. Like, especially, like, let's talk about mono red, for instance. This mono red deck, if we were playing the exact mirror matchup, we would definitely board this in, right? It doesn't kill Fanatical Firebrand because it's a pirate, so it doesn't deal any damage to that, but it does kill Lava Runner, it does kill Viashino Pyromancer, it does kill a non-buffed Runaway Steam-Kin, and that's it. So it doesn't deal with Goblin Chainwhirler or Rekindling Phoenix, but it can help us deal a little damage to them so they can die to a shock, right? So it's not the perfect card for the mono red matchup, but I would definitely board in like 2 of these. I think it's much better against mono blue and mono white aggro. Mono white is pretty susceptible to Fiery Cannonade. Like if they're playing a Danto Vanguard, they're going to probably want to spend the 4 life to make it indestructible, but they really can't against mono red, so they have to lose a lot of creatures to Fiery Cannonade. So that's actually pretty good. So Fight with Fire. This is an interesting choice, I think, for the sideboard. I don't love Fight with Fire personally. Especially now that War of the Spark is out, there's a lot of Planeswalkers, and nothing in our sideboard deals with Planeswalkers at all. Like, against Control, we don't board anything in my opinion. Like, we just keep the same deck and hope that they haven't boarded well against us, right? So Fight with Fire is good against mid-rangey decks, things that, like, are going to be playing creatures with 5 toughness. Like, anything that's going to be playing Lyra Dawnbringer or, like, Shalai, so some angels like that, some other mid-rangey things like Gruul, or even, like, Simic midrange or Simic anything like that, right? So anything with creatures that have toughness 5 or less, and sometimes if we like have a crazy game where we've lasted a long time and we get 9 mountains on the field, 9 mountains on the field, we can cast this for 9 mana and deal 10 damage to our opponent. So that can be helpful, but rarely is ever going to happen. Like, that should never happen. So this is a decent card. It helps deal with just big creatures. Also, I should say, this helps with Drakes. I had a game earlier where I was up against Drakes, and Fight with Fire is actually pretty good because it does 5 damage, and they both Enigma Drake and Crackling Drake, and what's it called? Terramander with its Adapt. Both or all have 5 or less toughness, and so this can deal with those. One thing I think this sideboard is missing that it could use more of is Lava Coil. Lava Coil is actually very good. Obviously, I agree with the choice to only run 2 in the main board. I don't think the main board needs 4, but when you're running up against Drakes, or when you're running up against, like, Orzhov or Mardu, things that want their creatures to die, we want to be able to exile things when they die. And also things that are running Rekindling Phoenix, like Gruul decks. We want Lava Coil against Gruul decks, so I wish there were 2 more Lava Coils in the sideboard instead of 4 Fight with Fires. And if you're going to just adjust things a little bit, that's something I would do. I would take out 2 Fight with Fires and put in more Lava Coils, if that was the option. But since we're just playing this as if we got it right out of the box, we're going to go jump into some games with this. I think I've kind of talked about the sideboard as much as I can with this one. It's pretty simple, right? We have 4 Lightning Mares, 4 Diamond Mares, 3 Fiery Cannonades, and 4 Fight with Fires. Not a whole lot of nuance there. It's pretty simple. I think that's probably all we need to talk about. There are a couple times where you actually might want to sideboard out, might want to board out a mountain in exchange for something else. Like if you're boarding in some Lightning Mares and you want to kind of scoot up your mana curve, you can take out a mountain. And if you notice that you're like flooding out a little bit, which happens a reasonable amount with this deck, I don't completely agree with 22 mountains, but just test it out, I guess. Test it out, and you can make that decision on your own. Let's go jump into a game. So we're only going to be playing 1 match here. Hopefully it's not like a really quick one, but since we're doing Lightning Aggro, these matches tend to be fairly fast. So what we want to do is we want to definitely be on the play here. Playing first with mono red is very important, so we can go ahead and get a threat out on turn 1. Okay, we get the option. We definitely play first. And this is actually a pretty good hand. It's not perfect, but it's good. We don't have a turn 1 play. I'm not going to shock on turn 1 because I want to use this shock to proc our Runaway Steam-Kin, but we can get a Steam-Kin down on turn 2, and then if we have another mountain, we can go Goblin Chainwhirler or Viashino and shock. So this is definitely a good hand. I don't always want to start with Experimental Frenzy in hand either, but, it's a good card, and we definitely want to see it at some point in the game. So this is fine. All right, what are we up against here? Let's see. If they play like a Llanowar Elf or something here, I'm definitely going to shock that. Batau. So they probably know we're going mono red already just because they see the mountain, right? You see the mountain and you assume mono red, so let's see what they've got. Okay, Hinterland Harbor. We pass turn here. We'll go ahead and get our Steam-Kin down. Okay, Wizard's Lightning is a good pickup. We actually kind of prefer mountain, so we hope we draw into a mountain on this next turn, so we can play Pyromancer and Wizard's Lightning, so we get a bunch of damage out. That would be a big turn, a big turn. Well, let's see what our opponent plays. Growth Spiral. Okay, so they're doing some Simic stuff. Could be Simic Nexus potentially. Okay, drawing a shock isn't amazing, but it's fine. We'll go Pyromancer here. We get only 4 damage in on our opponent right now. It's not perfect. It's not a perfect turn. But what this allows us to do, it opens up Wizard's Lightning, and we can have a big turn next turn. Because we can go, we can play some spells to get Runaway Steam-Kin up to... Yeah, this might be bad. Okay. Let's hope they don't have a lot of counter spells. Here we go. We'll go ahead and Wizard's Lightning, so maybe this will draw out a Merfolk, whatchamacallit, lizard lady person. I'm expecting, okay, Sinister Sabotage, that's pretty okay. Yep, I potentially should have just shocked instead of Wizard's Lightning there. We'll go ahead and get another shock out now. And then I'm going to Goblin Chainwhirler. Yeah, use that ability to get 3 mana. And then I'm actually going to go ahead and shock, get a bunch of damage in now while I have a chance. So we take him to 6, and then we've got Experimental Frenzy for next turn, potentially. If we draw a red spell, I can use Runaway Steam-Kin's ability to get Experimental Frenzy onto the field. But if we draw a mountain, then we can also play that. Okay, so we're definitely looking at Simic Nexus here, which is not a matchup I love. But we're definitely going to board in some Lightning Mares. Okay, they're looking for Root Snare and didn't get it. That's ouchy. That's a big ouch for our opponent. Yeah, and they concede. Okay, so they missed all their Root Snares. That's going to be problematic. So if we want to kind of speed things up, we definitely don't run Fiery Cannonade. I think we cut Lava Coils and we go Lightning Mares because it can't get countered. I really don't like this matchup. We're going to have to go super fast, mainly. I'm actually going to cut a mountain. That might seem stupid, but I think it's important. What do we want to cut? I like Banefire. I like as much non-combat damage as we can get here. We put one more Lightning Mare in. I think that's probably the only change we need to make. I'm guessing they're going to start playing Hydroid Crisis. But we have things to get rid of Hydroid Crisis. We have plenty of damage here. I think we're going to be okay. I really don't like the Simic Nexus matchup. I don't play against it a whole lot, and it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to deal with. It's a good deck. It's a good deck. It's a deck that's being played in a lot of tournaments. I saw it at least once in the shown up in the Mythic Championship that just happened. Okay, good news here is we get a Fanatical Firebrand down. And then we'll probably play Pyromancer after that because I want to hold the Lightning Mare for when they're actually going to have counter spells ready. Okay, Lightning Mare is good. But I think we go Pyromancer still. I'm guessing they're going to go Wilderness Reclamation this coming turn. And then they will have Root Snares and counter spells just ready to go. Yep, that's their 4th mana, 4th land, and we only have them on 16, which isn't amazing. Oh, they Growth Spiral. No Wilderness Reclamation yet. That's actually good. They've got mana for a counter spell, which is nice. Let's see if they Root Snare here, though. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and attack. So we get damage in, and then I think we play Lightning Mare because it can't be countered. And I'm pretty sure they've got a Sinister Sabotage in hand. Bummer for the opponent, huh? So we've got 6 combat damage on the field right now, so we can take them to 7 as long as they don't have a Root Snare or anything. Yeah, Lightning Mare is very good against this deck. It's very good against decks that are running counterspells, and they've got a Growth Spiral and not a Wilderness Reclamation. So they better hope they get a Root Snare here, or they're in a world of hurt. Nice, very, very nice. Let's go for damage here. See if they do anything. If they Root Snare, They still have mana for a counter spell, so that means I'm going to play Lightning Mare. But if they Root Snare, okay, they Root Snare. Yeah, we resolve that. And then we go another Lightning Mare here. Nope, I should have Pyromancered. Dang it, that was dumb. I should not have played the Lightning Mare. I should have gone Pyromancer instead. But that's fine. I think I'm going to hold the Wizard's Lightning for now and go ahead and end turn. So Root Snare, because we have so many creatures on the field, Root Snare is a bummer. Tamio is coming down. Okay, Tamio is here. She's going to look for another Root Snare, or they lose, basically. I guess they can... The smart move would, instead of looking, yeah, they just return Root Snare to their hand. We don't care about Tamio. We want to go for the face. That's what we're doing. Yeah, we Wizard's Lightning here. Take them to 10. They still got Root Snare, so I know I can't deal combat damage next turn. So I'm going to hold up my Fanatical Firebrand at least. I'm trying to think how much damage can I put on him next turn. If we draw a Mountain, that would be nice. I'm sorry, you what? Why did you just do that? Copy. Why? Opponent, what was the point of that? You can't play your Root Snare now. Okay, so I have 6 damage, and then 6 more, so I can... We're so close to killing them. I cannot believe this. This is ridiculous. I guess that was a good play. Maybe. I mean, we go... They can't Root Snare. We just... take them to 7. And then... Yeah, we can... Ugh. I'm actually gonna kill their Tamio here. That might seem stupid, but I think it's actually pretty useful because they can't go fishing for anything. And then I hold the... Nope. I go Wizard's Lightning now. Take them to 4. That just means that they have to gain life, and they have to hold up Root Snare, or they have to hold up counterspells. And we've got lethal in hand or on the field, depending on what they do here. I wonder if Simic Nexus plays Bond of Flourishing. So we will go to combat. I know they're going to play Root Snare. Yeah, that's to be expected. Let's Lightning Strike, see if they have a counterspell. I mean, if they don't, even if they have a counterspell, here we win. They'd have to have 2 counterspells. Sinister Sabotage. That's just fine. We Wizard's Lightning their face. And then we Fanatical Firebrand. And win the game. Let's go, boys and girls. Easy peasy, baby. Easy. That's how it's done, my friends. What else can I say? The deck is good. Mono Red is very good. Let's look back at this. That's a pretty good matchup for us because their deck takes a little bit of setup to kind of get there. I'm surprised they weren't playing Bond of Flourishing to kind of get that life gain out, but it's a thing that happens. You don't, I guess, play for Mono Red, or they just didn't find it. But whatever, it's fine. We won. Let me know what you guys thought of this sideboard in the comments below. If you've actually purchased this deck and played it, let me know how it's performed for you. And at the end of this video, we're going to open a pack for your viewing pleasure and my childhood nostalgia here. Oath of Ka, that's actually a card I need. Thank you. That's good. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for watching. It has been a blast. I love playing... I don't love playing Mono Red, but I do love winning. So, in some ways, I do love playing Mono Red. If you're new to the channel, I welcome you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It really means a lot to me that you would take a bit of your time, out of your day to spend it with me, watching my stuff. If you have suggestions for future videos, let me know in the comments below. I'm going to be doing the other Challenger decks coming up soon in the next 2 weeks. So, if you're new, if you want to see those, tune in the future for those. If you... feel so inclined, you can subscribe so you see those videos. And if you want to, you can hit the notification bell so you know when they come out. And I think that's all I gotta say. You guys, I thank you so much. And if you want to talk Magic with me, join the Discord. I'll put that link in the comments below this video. That's all. I'm gonna stop talking now. Bye.